Go. I'll start recording now, Gina. Thank you again for your time. Always appreciate talking to you. Thank you. First of all, this feels like rinse and repeat whenever we speak, because we seem to have been here before. What's the feeling in your waters, as it were?
I love that. Rinse and repeat. That is pretty darned accurate. And of course, it's also pretty clear as to why this is happening, which is stepping over that line to truly ink this deal, to put in place what we're all expecting. 60 days, 30 days to get the Strait open again, and another 30 days to work out the nuclear file and any other thing that's out there and agreed by the two sides. And yet, they cannot get those signatures on the paper. We hear again it's close, but I understand the Iranians have said no, it's not agreed. And there we are. And that, I believe it's a lack of courage, but there we are. It's difficult. It is difficult.
There is this sort of thought that Trump just wants a get out as soon as he can. At what point do you think he'll sign anything that just gives him that option?
Well, it's interesting. The financial markets have really led him in one direction or another often over this second administration. When you look at the tariffs, when you look at oil prices going up, even as this war has gone on, and then you see the markets react when it looks like he's about to sign an agreement, then prices drop suddenly. And so it'll be interesting to see if the markets suddenly think, okay, this guy's not serious. Prices better go up because we keep expecting it to be handled and it's not. And to see whether that indeed makes an impact on him. He says he doesn't care about the midterms. His party certainly cares about the midterms. And that might be a bit of bluster because he has time in this moment. The Iranians are in much the same position. They need the Strait opened for their own oil to go in and out freely. They need the sanctions lifted. They need their assets unfrozen. So they need this just as badly as the United States does, if not more so. It's just a matter of who believes they have more time to wait out the other.
But bearing in mind the Iranian regime and how, to coin a phrase, cutthroat it is, I suppose, that probably isn't the right expression, but bearing in mind the strength, I mean, we haven't seen the new Ayatollah, I understand that, but the strength, bearing in mind the strength of the Iranian regime, and it is a theocracy, despite the fact that the military might has done so much damage, it's the fact that it is that regime, it is that theocracy that is keeping it going.
They have a long history of not kowtowing, quite frankly. I lived in Iraq during the Iraq-Iran war, when they lost hundreds of thousands of people and yet continued that war for 8 years. It had a devastating impact on their economy, and yet 8 years long. They are willing to have their population suffer in a way that is unthinkable by Americans and hopefully unthinkable by the rest of the world's economies. That's why it's so important for the Strait to be opened. They might indeed be able to outweight President Trump. We're talking about 5 months till elections, but it could also have an implosion on the Iranian economy, certainly destabilize their government, destabilize the IRGC as well. 5 months can be a long time in a tight financial grip, which is what the United States has on Iran at this time.
But clearly, they have underestimated the regime in this, despite the damage that they've done with the military. And when you look back to at the start of this, he was asking the Iranian people to get out onto the streets and to force that uprising. It hasn't happened, and he has been backed into the corner from about day 3 or 4 of this. And it's been going on for months.
It's true. A combination of lack of knowledge of Iran, Iran's history, Iran's culture, ignorance, and arrogance. Things have gone very well for President Trump with his efforts with Venezuela, and even the bombing of Iran in June, when he thought he had obliterated their nuclear capabilities completely. And I remember, Iran has always said they were not developing a nuclear weapon. Our intelligence, Israeli intelligence, said they had abided by the Obama agreement. We have to keep that in mind. And so we are, without a doubt, in a worse position now than before President Trump tore up that agreement. And Americans are unlikely to lose sight of that, I think, in the long term. We shall see. But that is the reality, and there will be plenty of people, Democrats especially, reminding the American people of that fact.
Lots of talk from the president regarding the Abraham Accords, which is seen as a big success in his first term.
Mm.
Is that something he's clinging on to for this deal?
If he was serious about his uh, exhortation that more join the Abraham Accords, it would be again a combination of wishful thinking, to be diplomatic about it, because this is absolutely the wrong time for any additional countries to consider joining the Abraham Accords. The Israelis have been destructive in the region. If you think about the fact that they have had military action against Iraq, Iran, Yemen, Lebanon, Gaza, West Bank, Qatar, Syria, and I might be leaving out a country. That is not a record that says, hey, I'm ready to live, strongly well and make peace and live in friendship with the entire region. So that, I believe, is wishful thinking at this time.
Lovely, brilliant. Well, I shall let you crack on with the rest of your early evening.